Hello everyone, welcome to the video series for class 11 computer science. In this video we are going to start a new chapter, flow of control, which is very important as well. So in this chapter we are going to discuss about what is flow of control, what are the different types, and how to use those constructs in our program. So let us start today's topic. So here you can see that one diagram is given. In this particular diagram, the path from home to school is a single path. There is no alternative path. It means we have to follow these many stops to reach our school using school bus. So school bus is going to follow this only path which is available. There is no alternative path. So in programming language also, if we have written certain lines of statements and we have to follow all those statements one after another, then that construct is known as sequence flow of control. Okay, so basically when we are talking about flow of control, it means it specifies that what is the order of execution of the statements, and the order of execution of the statements in a particular program is known as flow of control. So we can specify flow of control in our program using various control structures. So Python also provides some control structures, and those control structures are sequence, selection and repetition. So already I told you that in sequence flow of control, all the statements are executed one after another. There is no alternative path. We have to start from the beginning and our execution will start at the end. So that type of control structure is known as sequence, and two more are there, selection and repetition. So in this particular video we will discuss in details about selection control structure and repetition control structure. So let us come to the first one, that is selection control structure. Now all of us have seen that when we are following a digital map in our mobile, then it shows various paths to reach to a particular destination. Okay, but we choose some path according to our convenience. We may choose the shortest path or we may choose the least crowded path. So it depends upon our priority. So if we are having some option, some alternative, then we can choose any particular option from those alternatives. So it involves uh, uh, some decision based on certain conditions. Okay, so we can say that a decision involves selecting from one or of the two or more possible options. So same thing happens in case of programming also, where we have to make some decision, we have to take some decision making, or selection is implemented with the help of some statement. And in selection statement we are going to discuss about those statements which allow us to take some decision based upon certain condition. So the very first statement is if statement, simple if statement is there. Now the syntax of if statement is we have to specify the condition and then we have to execute the statement based upon whether our condition will be true or false. Now if the condition is true, then the indented statement are executed. Now we can see that here this statement is known as indented statement. Now what does it mean? It means that the indented statements are dependent upon this condition. If this condition will be true, then only all the indented statements will execute. So there is no limit on the number of statements that can appear as block under the if statement. Here we may have number of statements as a part of body of if statement. Okay. It may be one, it may be multiple number of statements that may be part of this if statement. So we are let us see the example of if statement, then we will move to the another one. So suppose we want to check whether a number is positive. Okay, so for that we will enter a number. Okay, and we will already we have seen these functions in the previous video. So we will enter any number and we will find out whether it is positive. So we know that the condition of being positive is if the number is greater than 0. Okay, now we have to specify the condition. You can see here that syntax is we have to write if and then condition and then this colon symbol. Okay, it specifies the header section. So we can write here that if, and this num can be positive if it is greater than 0. So we have to write the condition here and you have to put a colon. Okay, and then press enter, then indentation level is automatically given. Now here we can print our message that number is positive. Now when we will execute this one, what will happen? Let us execute this one. So we will be asked to enter a number and it will be shown as positive. Let us wait. It is being executed. So in simple if statement, we are having only one alternative with us. One alternative means we will have only one option, that if this condition is true, this statement will be executed. Okay. Let me execute this one once more. So similarly, we are having different types of control statement which will allow us to take certain decisions based on condition. Okay, so here we can see if we have entered 5, we have the message number is positive. Now let us execute this one again and let us enter a negative number. Now you can see that for negative number we are not getting any output because we have written the code only for this statement. If this will be true, this will execute, but we have not mentioned that what if this will be false. For that we are having another statement and that statement is known as if else statement. Now you can see that in if-else statement, it allows us to write two alternatives. Now we will have two alternatives. And what for those two alternatives? Two alternatives means if the condition will be true, a set of statement will execute. If the condition will be false, another set of statement will be executed. So unlike the previous one where we won't have any condition, we won't have any statement to be executed when condition was false, in this if else we will have two set of statements, both for condition will be true and for condition will be false. Now let us modify the same statement once again. What we have to provide, we will write that else and again put a colon, print number is negative. Now you have to be very careful about indentation level. This means if condition will be true, then this body of if will be executed. And if this condition will be false, then the else part will execute. Now let us execute this one. Now this time if we will provide any negative number, then we will have the output for negative number as well. So in this case, we are having both the alternatives. If the condition will remain true, this will be executed. If condition will remain false, this will be executed. So we can see that in simple if condition we were having only one option. In if else we are having two alternatives, but situation may be there where we may have more than two alternatives, more than two options. So for that we are having another variation which is known as if statement. So many a times there are situations that require multiple conditions to be checked, and it may lead to many alternatives. So when we are having more than two alternatives, we have to use if. If means, in short, we can say that in this statement we will have if, we will have else, and we will have elif statements. Okay, so what is the syntax of using this? You can see that since we are having more than two alternatives, then we can have the syntax like this. So in this particular situation, we can see that we are having four different alternatives. So in three of the situation, you have to specify the condition, and rest of the condition will fall in this category. So no need to specify the condition for else part. Okay, so let me write one example for you all for if else statement. So here we can see that a number may be positive, a number may be negative, or a number may be 0. Now we are having three alternatives. One, the number may be positive, another one, the number may be negative, and third, it may be 0. Now how to write those type of programs where we are having three alternatives? Now for that, here, since we have written the condition for positive, now what we will do, we will write the condition for negative also. So we know that for negative number, the number must be less than 0. Okay, and the last one left out means if the number is neither positive neither negative, it is understood that number will be 0. So no need to write the condition for the last part. For else part, need not to write any condition, need not to specify any condition. Now you may choose as per your requirement that for which two conditions you want to specify the condition and which part you want to keep in else one. Okay, I have chosen that positive and negative number should be in condition part, and I have put the 0 in else part. Okay, so let us try to execute this one. Let us enter one positive number. It is giving us number is positive. Execute it once again and see what it is giving. So if -3, okay, wait, it is being hanged up. So if we will give minus, so it will be negative number, and when we will enter a 0, then output will be 0. So here we can see that we are having three different options. So you have to remember, if you are having only one option, you should use simple if statement. If you are having more than two options, you may choose if elif statement. If you are having only two options, then you can use if else statement. So here you can see it is giving us number is 0 for 0. So there can be number of programs using these three statements. So I will prepare a separate video for all the examples where we will cover most important questions. Okay, so it was about if else, if elif statement. Okay, where we have to take some decisions based on certain conditions. Okay, now here we can see that number of elif is dependent on number of conditions to be checked. If the first condition is false, then the next condition is checked, and so on. If one of the conditions is true, then corresponding indented block executes and if statement terminates. So let me show you that what it is talking about. It tells that if the first statement is false, then only the next will be executed. Okay, so if the number, if this condition is false, then our control will move here. If this will be false, then only our control will move here. If this is true, then its indented statement will be executed and no more execution of these two parts will be there. Okay, this is the meaning of those statements. So let us continue. What is indentation? As I told you that Python uses indentation for block as well as for nested block structure. And indentation are multiple spaces. Okay, it is being added automatically. So, but we must have be very careful about indentation level, because if indentation is not correct, then we will have error. So we have to be very careful about indentation level. So next important topic is repetition. Now what is repetition? Certain times we may have to face situation like this. Here you can see that a cycle is going on. Okay, so this process is a continuous process. It is going on. It shows you life cycle of a butterfly. Okay. Similarly, sometimes in program we want to repeat certain set of statements continuously, and that can be done using repetition construct. So for repetition also Python provides us some control statements, and we are going to discuss about what are those control statements in the next video. So I hope you have understood about if statement, if else statement, if elif statement. So if you find this video useful, don't forget to like it, share it and subscribe it. So thank you for watching.